Hello, and welcome back to High Five Resale Shop. My name is Derek, and I've been an eBay reseller for 17 years. I have over 4,000 listings on eBay right now, and I do this video to show you how to navigate eBay, how to sell things, what you can look for to sell. And today I wanted to talk about, in addition to the sales over this weekend, it's a cold, sleety Monday, January 22nd. Want to talk to you also today about 3 mistakes that eBayers make when trying to start out in eBay, and we'll discuss those in between some of the sales. So let's start off with some of the sales for this weekend. The first item is this Ann Taylor tank top, like a V-neck, medium, tan, pre-owned, and sold for $12 plus shipping on top. The next item is a magazine from a sports memorabilia lot that I got probably 2.5 months ago. Sports Illustrated magazine from 1962 with Casey Stengel on the cover. This sold for $13 plus shipping on that. Way into the profit on that sports memorabilia buy. There's another item in the stuff today that came out of that, but we'll show you that in a second. The next item is a CD. This CD is pre-owned, and it sold for $5 plus shipping. James McMurdy, St. Mary of the Woods. This sold for $5 plus shipping. The next item, I think this came out of a storage locker, if I recall, or a clean out that my mother and father-in-law did. This DVD, sealed, 50 Western movies. It's got John Wayne on the cover, but there's only one John Wayne movie in here. That sold for $4 plus shipping. DVDs, I don't like to pick them up anymore. They're not really worth a whole lot. But $4 plus shipping on top for that. The next one came from my estate sale closet that I'm doing like a consignment sale on their stuff. It's this John Mark, I mean. It's a large, and it's got these little Scotty dogs on it. That sold for $27 plus shipping. So, needless to say, John Mark, great brand to be picking up if you're sourcing out there. The next item is another CD. It is the Time Ice Cream Castle. Awesome CD. It's got Jungle Love on it, and it's got The Bird. So Morris Day and The Time, great album. So that sold for $13 plus ship. So if you see that out and about, that's when you want to pick up. That's a good sale for a CD. The next item is a cookbook. McNeese Recipes from Around the World cookbook. It's not very thick. It's McNeese sells like additives for food, like baking powder and like extract of lemon and probably vanilla type stuff, cocoa powder. So this is their cookbook. Probably got this in a group of cookbooks for like a couple bucks. So this sold for $3 plus shipping on top. The next item is a CD. Emphatic Damage is the name. It looks like heavy metal. I'm not sure, but this CD sold for $8 plus shipping. The next item is another piece of clothing. It's this Danskin extra large hooded fleece. This sold for $10 plus shipping. Some people would say, stay away from brands that don't make you a lot of money. But if you could pick them up cheap enough, like if you bought an entire garage sale out when they're, when they're ending, and you bought all their clothes at one time for, let's say, $100 or $50 or whatever, and you got all the remains from it. I mean, if you sold 5 of those, they'd pay for it. So if you got 200 pieces of clothing, you should make your money back on that. So some people would say not to pick that up, but it all depends on what you paid for it and whether it's worth it. The next item is this Unsinkable Monty Brown DVD. Yes, I know, another DVD. I don't like to sell them, right? I just said that, but this probably came from that clean out as well. $3.47 plus shipping on that. That was probably some kind of a sale on that one. The next item is a cookbook, another cookbook. This one is called Our Favorite Recipes from the Ashbury United Methodist Church in Lake Mills, Iowa. This one sold for $20 plus shipping. Cookbooks. Make sure you pick up your cookbooks when you're out and about. And it's cookbooks like these. It's not cookbooks like hardcover ones that you would find at the bookstore for $20 and $40. It's these spiral bound ones that are worth something. The next item is this Tory Burch bag, dust bag for a purse. It's sold for $11.20 plus shipping, so that's pretty cool. Let's talk about one of the mistakes that eBayers make when they kind of start out, or they kind of learn how to do this. It's sourcing only good items. Now, I think of eBay in tiers, and people have different tiers that they're in. When you start out, you may be at a lower level, and then when you watch some of these YouTubers that are even better, more successful than I am, they're up here. They're up there because they source really good items, and you need knowledge and you need experience. Like Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours theory. When you do something for 10,000 hours, you become an expert at it. So when you start sourcing these items, you're going to pick losers. This is the way it is. So you can't get down on yourself. You just got to try and pick less losers than you're buying good stuff. So the tiers are at, like, are you going to buy this Danskin? Are you going to buy this Danskin for $1 and resell it for $10? Well, I'll do that all day long. Buy it for $1, sell it for $10. That's fine. You made $8 in profit in there, because there's going to be a $1 or $2 that you lose to fees and stuff like that. So you can do that. You can buy these things for the low cost and sell them at a higher price, and it not be that big. And some of the people that are at a top tier, they're buying items that are more expensive, and they have this bigger gap. They bought it for $10 and they're selling it for $75. But it takes knowledge to find that stuff that's worth the $10. Plus, you have to have the money to be able to, the capital behind it. You have to be able to pay for those. So if you're buying a bunch of $10 items, you'll run out of money really quick. and then you're waiting for things to sell. As long as they have a good sell-through rate, then this is not a big issue. But I think you got to just take it for the tier that you're at. So, like, what's the bottom tier is grabbing items for $1 or less and selling them for $10. Then the next tier is like grabbing things for $2 and $3 and $4 and selling them for $20. So that would be another tier. And then the tier above that is like buying things for $10 and selling them for $25 and above. And that's when the money starts to really double on itself, and you start being you really start seeing the money start to flow in your business. And then you get a chance to buy things that you, let's just say you thought it was going to be worth between $25 and $75, and it was only worth $25, but you paid $10 for it. You're still not losing money. You're just not making as much as you wanted to make. So, all that to be said, make sure you're sourcing good items. You have to have the knowledge about the items that you're sourcing. So if you have a knowledge about sports cards, then stay in that area for a while and build up that knowledge, and then let's just say you see a really great deal, you think is a really great deal on G.I. Joes or action figures or whatever, and you buy up that group, and then you know what you're going to do? You're going to end up learning so much about G.I. Joes that you're going to become an expert on G.I. Joes. That's what happened with me with those audiobooks. I didn't know anything about those audiobooks. So I bought 900 audiobooks at one time. Now I'm an expert on them because I've figured out how the best way to list them. I figured out how they sell best, and all those things. The sports memorabilia thing, I was already kind of an expert about that, how to look up autographs, knowing what's worth something. So buying that was not a big deal. I already knew all of the ins and outs of that. And hold on a second. So sorry about the interruption. My son was on the kitchen counter. I had to get him off it. So source your items. Stay in your lane is basically kind of what I'm saying here. And then when you get a big purchase, you can branch out and learn something new. The CD thing was another thing. I already knew how to sell CDs, but I learned even quicker methods of getting these CDs up. I think I just finished the last box of CDs, if I recall. I think I may have about 50 more to go through, but then I have a whole new stack of stuff that eBay doesn't have pictures of, so I have to take pictures of it and then get it up on eBay. Good CDs for sale, just that eBay doesn't have the information in their system. So that's how you go about doing that. Sourcing good items, that's the first thing. The second thing is use the equipment you already have. Don't go buying brand new equipment to try and start up your eBay business. You know, you got a phone. Everybody has a phone. Take pictures with your phone. The cameras on the phones right now are amazing. So some people like to take pictures with a camera. If you already have a really nice camera, that's up to you if you want to do that. I always found that the transferring of the videos or the pictures from the phone to the computer to be a pain in the butt, but you can do that if you want to. I used to use a camera back when the phone cameras weren't that great, and then my wife was always constantly on me like, why don't you just use your phone? Why don't you just use your phone? And finally I stopped, pushed back on that because the phone cameras got really good, and I started to use that. So just find a place with decent lighting, take your pictures. Pictures sell items on eBay, so if you take really bad pictures, you're going to have a really tough time selling things on eBay. But take good pictures, and when you take a step up in your level of selling, you can go out and you can get yourself some lights, or buy a ring light, or because those aren't very expensive now. You can get rinky-dink ones that it might break if you drop it or whatever. But I have a lighting setup in mine. I have mannequins. I bought mannequins way back in the day. I like doing clothes on mannequins because it shows how it's going to hang on the body, so that people can get an idea of what they might look like in the picture on the clothes that I sell. We have added to, mostly when we had our store, we added a lot of stuff in our inventory. I have thousands and thousands of hangers that I use. I have head mannequins for hats and stuff to take pictures with. Just a lot of stuff over the course of time that I've added to my thing to take pictures. When you start, hey, you just need a backdrop, something grayish, a backdrop that's gray so your camera can adjust, and then lay your stuff out, take good pictures, get a nice scale, a decent scale that you can weigh your packages on before you do the shipping, and that's about it. Your computer that you do your eBay on. And then when you jump up a level, then you can get one of these printers that prints out the labels. You don't need that necessarily at the beginning because you're only going to be selling a few things at a time. And you can just print out your labels on a printer and cut them out and tape them on. But don't go out and buying all kinds of things to make your eBay store go before it actually goes. Just get it going and then add little bits and pieces to it. So that's point number 2. Do not buy all your equipment when you start your eBay business. When you level up, then grab new items. The next item that we're going to show you that sold is an audiobook. 2 audiobooks sold back to back. I thought they were from the same buyer, but they ended up being from different people. I don't know. Some of the stuff that happens on eBay, you would think it would make sense, and then it doesn't make any sense why it happened. But Q is for Corey. This book by Sue Grafton. This sold for $8 plus shipping, and then right before that sold One False Move by Harlan Corbin. This sold for $4 plus shipping. The next item was a CD that sold, John Denver's Greatest Hits. That sold for $275 plus shipping. $275 is the bare minimum that I'm selling the CDs online for. I did the math to figure out that I'm making like 75 cents at that point. So that's the lowest I'll ship it for. The next one, again, $275, Wilco, The Whole Love, sold out for $275. This one, Fireflight Now, $275 plus shipping on that. And those are all separate people as well. The next item was this St. Louis Cardinals hat. I think we came up that this is a remake or a repop of 1956, which they probably put this out in the early 80s or 90s. And it's got an autograph on the inside bill, Don Guteridge. I had somebody online, I asked some questions online, and they told me about this tag, this Roman. It's not in the title. It's a fitted cap. This Roman tag, I can't remember what the company's name was, but they started selling these in the mid 80s or mid 90s or whatever, something like that. So it is vintage, but it's not 1956 vintage. That sold for $40 plus shipping. So a really good sale that came out of the sports collectible lot that I had. The next item is a book, previously an ex-library book. So just um, disclose that when you're selling them. It's called The Walls of Windy. So I don't know what that is, but that sold for $8 plus shipping. And then the last item to sell was this Vampire Weekend Contra CD. And that was brand new. That sold for $7 plus shipping. The third and final part of mistakes new eBayers make is be consistent. Be consistent in listing items. Be consistent in shipping your items. Be consistent in sourcing your items. Be consistent in looking back at old items, your oldest stuff, and include that in part of your selling of items. So what I normally do is I try to list daily. I try to look at old inventory and try and revamp it or revise it, look at it, see if there's anything that can be improved on it. Maybe 2 to 5 listings a day that are really old, and try and figure that out. I try to source a few items every Friday. I have a huge death pile. I used to clean out houses, and I still have a huge amount of clothes that need to go up. Now, they're not top tier brands, which is what you want to escalate your business forward and up. I have a lot of mid-tier type of items, which help. It's just, you got to put so much volume into it that it's going to amount to something. But you got to do the volume. So on Fridays when I go out, I try to source some really good items that I'll sell right away. My theory on it is that 10% of what you put up on any given day, 10% of that should sell within 2 weeks. So if you put 10 items up in one day, within 2 weeks, one of those items should sell. So one of those items should sell within 2 weeks. One of those items should sell within 4 weeks. And 2 more items should sell within 2 months. So that would be 4 items out of the 10 that you put up that are sold within the 2 months. And then the rest of it will just sell intermittently over time. So if you continue that structure, when you put things up, you'll always have things selling. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that that's what will happen when you only are allowed 5 to 10 things when eBay starts, when you start an eBay account. But later, when you get the numbers up, that's kind of how it goes. Hold on a second. So the eBay algorithm likes activities. So whether it's packing and shipping, whether it's listing, whether it's revamping old listings, the algorithm loves activity, and it will reward you if you consistently are doing some of those things. So when you revamp old listings, you will start to see old listings other than the ones, not necessarily the ones you touched, but other ones around it that will start to sell. So you will start to sell other old listings. When you list items, you'll see other ones like it sell. It's because it likes to see you listing. Now, this is not anything I know to be true about eBay. It's just my thought process. This is how I think it works. Is if you are listing in a category, then that category starts to get pushed up in the algorithm. Pardon me. sorry about that, but consistently listing, consistently revamping will create in the algorithm. It will create like you're working on your business. So sometimes I think that eBay throttles you, and this is my opinion, but eBay throttles you if you're not consistently on your account. I think they like it when you put stuff on sale, but I cannot confirm that. But that's just my thought. There are some days when my sales end, because I almost always have a sale going of some kind. When my sales end, that everything just completely stops and comes to a grinding halt. And I just don't think my prices are that way off. But it certainly does like when you are active on your account. And if you think about it in eBay's terms, wouldn't you want that as a business? You would want somebody who's like actively pursuing what they're doing. So I don't want somebody who I'm not going to send business to somebody who doesn't answer their emails or the questions the customers send them before 3 days. I'm not going to send them more business. I will send it to the guy that answers his emails in like 30 or 40 minutes. If he gets a message in an hour, he's already answered the question for the customer. That's who I would send. That's who I would send my business to. I'm not going to send it to the guy who doesn't answer the email for 3 days. And that's not to say that I don't miss emails and forget to send people information. But I try to answer emails as soon as they come in, and therefore I don't miss any. But if people ask, they give me best offers, I make sure I get back to them right away. It shows eBay that I am actively working my business. If they send questions, I answer those questions right away. Even if somebody sends me a non-question through the eBay messages, I will send something back to them as if it was just like a mistake, like a period. So if somebody says, really great item, thanks for sending it right away, and they really didn't ask a question, eBay thinks that they asked me a question. So I will send back, glad that you liked it, and send it back to them. And then they send me a thing that says, thanks for the response. I'll just send like a period and send it, just because it shows that there was a message and a response to it. So just showing eBay that you're consistently working your store, that gives them confidence to send you more customers. And why wouldn't it? It makes total sense that you send business to the person who's managing their store and taking care of your customers, because eBay is spending a lot of money advertising, even though sometimes we don't see it, but they're spending a lot of advertising money to get people to get on eBay to get to your store. There are some people they don't need to advertise to. They're constantly on eBay. But a lot of those are people who are already on eBay selling stuff. But I think I just saw an ad the other day during a football game for eBay. So that costs a lot of money for them to get out there and do that, and to try and get some of these folks off of other websites to come over to eBay. Because the younger generation, the 20-year-olds to the 30-year-olds, they're not on eBay. They're on other websites. They're on Whatnot. They're on Let Go. They're on Facebook Marketplace. They're looking for items other places than eBay. So eBay's trying to get those other people in. The main customers of eBay are 34 years old to 60 at this point. They're the people who grew up with eBay. They know eBay from before. And that's who the main demographic, I think, for eBay is. Then the other part of that is that when they send you customers, we have to be able to make them happy by getting the product to them intact and in a timely manner, So doing your shipping when you should be doing your shipping, getting it out to the customer in a timely manner, making sure that it doesn't break in the process. Because what is the biggest bummer is having something get to you and it's broken, especially if it's been in this world for like 20 or 30 years. It's a vintage item and you didn't pack it well enough to get it there. What a bummer. So it just ends up going in the trash anyway. So we have to convert on those customers, because if they're first time customers and they get a broken item, they're not shopping on eBay again. If they get a shirt from somebody on eBay and it's not measured right and they get it, they're never going to shop for clothes again on eBay. So we have to be responsible enough to make sure that our listings are correct and that we pack it well enough to get it there, because those first time customers, we have to really we have to grab them and hold on to them, because that's what's gonna be eBay's future. Well, that's enough of that. We went through all of the items that sold over the weekend. Let me see here. It was 20 items. That was 20 items that we went through. Had a gross total of $334. Shipping is going to change here shortly. The post office is coming out with new shipping rates, so be aware of that. But that's all I have for you today, and we'll see you next time on High Five Resale Shop. If you haven't liked, subscribe, and if you comment, have a question for me, I'd be happy to answer it. So see you later. Bye.